Hi, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Justy.
And together we're losing it.
We both lost over 100 pounds by developing healthy habits.
And I also had weight loss surgery and used a GLP-1 medication.
And I used a GLP-1 medication and had skin removal surgery.
We're really passionate about helping people learn to live a healthy lifestyle by sharing our experiences.
But we're not doctors, so if you have questions, reach out to your medical team. And you may see our mascot Sancho pop up from time to time.
And all three of us hope that you find our content useful. Welcome back, friends. After yet another break. Dusty and I like our breaks every once in a while. More so just life is busy and that's whatever, that's fine. But we wanted to come back and we're heading into the holidays. We're actually in it. It's
We're in
December.
the thick of it, yeah.
Yeah, we are in it. And that means something a little different for everybody. I know for Justy, work-wise, she gets really busy because of bakeries. For me, work-wise, I slowed down, but family-wise, I gear up. So, we decorated a Christmas tree last night. Like it's just that kind of stuff. And Chelsea's already asking me when are we baking cookies? So, that kind of stuff gears up for me. While like work dials down. So it's the balancing act, right? But the one thing that I think all of us have in common, whether it be us or it be someone that we know, is people pleasing. The holidays are it's like the mecca for people pleasing, whether it be, you might know this person that is like, feels like they have to have the perfect little gift for everybody, and it's got to have the perfect little bow, and it's got to have this, and it has to, or somebody who's like perfectionist with like the Christmas tree, the ornaments have to be here, and this has to be there. And, in my opinion, and when Justy and I were talking, all of that little people pleasing and perfectionism stuff is just adding a whole nother layer of stress that we don't have to add, you know?
Yeah.
So like last night when we were decorating the Christmas tree, for example, it was our lights are kind of they were old, some were busted. We got a new one. We thought the one strand would be enough. It kind of wasn't. I was like, I don't really care. Let's just spin it around there. Like it's whatever. But the old me would have been like, we need to have three sets. We need to do this. I have to do that because I wanted to just look the appearance to look great for everybody. Now I'm like, I don't know. We're the only ones looking at the tree. Who cares if it's got one strand on it? But, so it's funny to watch how I know how I've sort of let the roles balance a bit to where I don't feel like I need to be a perfectionist around the holidays, which also ties into the people pleasing because I don't feel like I have to please everybody. Like for Thanksgiving, we went camping, just my husband and I. Like most people are like, you didn't like go have turkey or like, no, actually we had vegan chili cheese dogs or vegetarian chili cheese dogs over a campfire, just the two of us because that's what we wanted to do. So it's kind of a little, you have to get to be a little bit, we give so much during the holidays, you got to be a little bit selfish too. Like I can't give 365 days a year. And if the holidays is the time that I decide that I want to like do things because that's when I don't have work. That's when I have the time to do the things I want to do. I'm going to take the time to do that. So I don't want to please everybody else. At this moment in time, I want to please myself. I'm going to
Yeah.
fill my own cup.
And I'm really good. I'm actually really good at that. But with having my daughter and Lucas here this year, it is more pressure. So in the past years, I haven't even put up a tree. It's like because I don't care. And I'll go to someone else's house that has a beautiful tree, and then they have to store it, and they have to have the ornaments, and they have to do all the work. I don't care.
That
So
was you
this
coming to my
year,
house. I did all the work and
right.
you came and enjoyed my
Right.
tree.
So this year it's a little bit more, but it's interesting because it comes out in me with my grandson because I love him so much, and he's like he's my person. And so I asked him what he wanted for Christmas, and he really just he wanted a cake, he wanted a blankie, and he wanted me to be friends with Papa, which is my ex-husband, which we're not friends, so it's weird that he just has that in his head. But then I'm looking at like, oh well, we could get him a Nintendo Switch, we could get him this, and then I'm like, no, he doesn't want that. Like he doesn't want that. What he wants is these very simple things. And at 6 years old, I need to make sure that I stay aligned with that, because then he's going to grow up expecting, expecting,
Yeah.
expecting, right?
Yeah.
And so for Thanksgiving, we went to Fleming's for dinner, because Nana wasn't cooking and Nana wasn't cleaning because I'm busy as shit. But we had a great dinner together as a family, and we have memories from that. And that was what I could do, and it was fine. Nobody cares.
Right.
Yeah.
And I found that through the years, it's a lot more about because Chelsea's 10 now.
Hmm.
It's a lot more about she's very into tradition and just likes
Yeah.
it. She asks when are my parents coming because she knows that they come up this time of year. And
Hmm.
are we going to bake the cookies before they get here? Because Grandpappy's going to go right to the kitchen looking for the cookies. She likes that. She
Right.
thrives on that kind of routine and that kind of stuff. I don't even, we made her make a Christmas list for us this year.
Hmm.
But I don't know that she even cares if she gets any of that stuff. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
nothing, it was
Yeah.
nothing crazy. It was like lip
Uh-huh.
gloss,
Yeah.
Starbucks Bear Cup, whatever, like
And
dumb stuff.
we are making traditions based off of my lifestyle, not what my grandmother's lifestyle was, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so it's kind of like the old me or the tradition versus what is in reality now. My grandmother was retired. Like, I remember her doing all this stuff, but she didn't work. And I'm a modern Nana. I'm a young Nana. I'm a modern Nana. And so our Thanksgiving tradition is going to be go to the movies in the afternoon and go to dinner.
Right,
And if
right,
somebody else invites us to come over and eat, I'll do that too. And I'll bring a delicious side. But that's
right.
not as far as it's going to go. But that doesn't mean we don't have it. We're not going to have a tradition,
Right.
It's
And then
just something
maybe when
that
you're
happens for me.
retired and he's older and maybe he's bringing
Yeah.
his girlfriend to dinner or wife or whatever,
Whatever.
maybe it's different. Maybe then you would want to, but for you're
Maybe.
making it fit your lifestyle right now and that's what makes
Right.
sense to me. Yeah, it doesn't have
Yes.
and same for us because so my mom was she worked, she was a school bus driver, which worked really well because she was able to be home when we were home. So if we were off school, she was home. So,
Uh-huh.
really not having to find like daycare and that kind of thing. But she really, I think she enjoyed, and my dad really likes to cook too. So I think they enjoyed having that house full of people there. She was already off for all the holidays and everything anyway.
Uh-huh.
And that's what I guess fit for their lifestyle and, fit
And
what worked for
yep.
them.
And I enjoy that stuff too, but not during the holidays because I'm busy. Like you said, I have
Mhm.
bakeries, we're really busy, but I'll throw a dinner party in July when we're
Right.
slow. You know what
Right.
I mean? So, and it's interesting how, like, for me even, and I've been working on this for a long time, but the holidays do trigger a little bit of that. And it's kind of like, we have extra social pressure. I'm invited out to dinner a lot more, friends' houses a lot more, there's more cookies, there's more sweets, there's more of that stuff. I don't like to tell people no. And with the more demands during the holiday seasons, you find yourself having to tell people no, which is
Right.
always hard. And then feeling responsible for, like, my grandson's happiness, right, or my daughter's happiness, or my employees' happiness. That is multiplied during the holiday season.
Hmm.
And so it just adds this little bit of pressure that we don't typically have. And if we allow it to, it can add a whole lot of pressure that we don't
Right, because
typically have.
that's when we go back to old ways of coping with food, right?
Yeah.
So
And
it's
that's
kind of like
why,
and
yep,
here it is all around you and it's not
yep.
just food, it is that comfort. It's the comforting food, it's the cookies, it's cakes, it's
Hmm.
the little pizzelles, all the little things that like spark like that kind of like joy in you like, oh, I remember this from when I was a kid. So if you're
Right.
chasing that dopamine hit because you're
Uh-huh.
so overwhelmed, you can easily find it
Right.
in every corner of the
And when
holiday.
you're going to the family dinner, if your family has dinners, and you're like, oh, like for me, it was like, oh, I have to have my grandma's cookies. Oh, I have to have the stuffing. Oh, I have to have. And it was this food, because of my food addiction, was tied to all these memories. I never was like, oh, I have to have a conversation with my uncle, right?
Right.
It was always about food.
Yeah.
And so that to me, it's also good that I have, my life is very different now, because I'm not triggered like some people are, because I'm not around all of that. But it's a real thing. And, you got to learn what is, what is that, and have a plan
Mm.
going into it so that your boundaries are set.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, for sure. And normalize telling people no. Like start practicing that now because
Mhm.
we haven't really gotten into the, the work parties and the family get-togethers. We haven't gotten there yet. So
Mhm.
normalize saying no now. Like you don't
Yep.
have to um go to the store and let's say your husband, your wife, your friend, whatever wants to go shopping. You can say no. Start saying no now. You're
Yeah.
not feeling it. You don't want to be in that store. Like you're not feeling it. Then say no now. It is
Yeah.
okay. Like you don't
Uh-huh.
have to do it. So normalize saying no now. So when you're put in front of a buffet of food, you're not feeling pressured into eating somebody's cookies that listen, if it's a good looking cookie, I'm gonna eat it. But
Right.
if it's just a cookie, like,
And you don't owe anybody, right?
right,
Like you not eating that cookie, it's not, nobody cares. And if they do care, that's a them problem.
right, exactly.
Because you don't owe anybody that. They don't understand the process that you're going through, especially with the weight loss journey. And you just need to kind of honor yourself and all the work that you've done this year and not like fuck it over the next month.
Right,
Now,
right. Because a month
now,
of buckets is going to put you in a
um,
bad way.
a month of fuck it's going to put you starting over in January and having all of these high expectations on yourself that you're not going to follow through with. And then it is a cycle of disappointing yourself and feeling like shit and then doing it again and doing it again instead of small, step by step problem solving. So, what is going to be my problem today is going to be Aunt Lucy wanting me to eat her, you know,
Pecan
marshmallow
pie, right,
jello or
right,
whatever the hell, and I am going to go into this and knowing that that's what I'm going to have to deal with, and just knowing that I can say thank you, but I'm good right now. Like you don't have
right.
to be mean about it. You don't have to be like your shit's gross or I don't want to eat it or I'm dieting. No, you don't have to explain it to anybody.
Or maybe I'll
Um,
grab a piece later. I'm full right now, or
right. Or I'm focused on feeling myself right now. Or
right,
no, thank you, but everything looks amazing. Like, you know what I mean?
right.
You don't have to explain yourself away, and no is a no. For me, it's like it would come up with drinking when I was younger. My ex-husband's family, my family, the different people I've dated, it was just like
Mhm.
drinking and eating. And it's just like, I don't normally drink, so why am I going to do it today? Because that's just going to
Right.
lead to me wanting to eat the whole ass pie when nobody's
Mhm.
looking, you know? Um,
But
it's-
it can also, I feel like when you get into the people pleasing aspect of things, so it's not just around food. Some
no.
of it is around food. A lot of it is around buying presents. Like, why put yourself in debt over buying presents for somebody? Like you said, like, not that buying a Nintendo Switch is going to put you in debt, but for some people it might, and they might have to
Right.
like put that on a credit card or whatever the case is. Like, don't feel like you have to do that stuff. I'm telling you right now, connection and experiences are the way to go because
Right.
literally we will, like Chelsea's growing like a weed. She put pants on this morning to go to school. I'm like, girl, you can't wear those out of the house. They're like capris and it's like freezing outside. So I made her go change. So we got a bunch of new clothes for her. They're upstairs in my closet right now. She's not getting them till Christmas. But
Uh-huh.
right now, we'll get you some clothes, but you got to find pants that fit. So it's kind of like we give her a lot of the things that like she needs anyway
Right.
to just kind of pad it and have stuff for her to open. But more than that is the experiences.
Yeah.
We've done things like take her to the Nutcracker, like that's her big gift. I took her
Yeah.
to Disney on Ice last year. These are things that this child is never going to forget. She is not going to remember that damn Barbie house I bought. And guess what? I paid $25 for that on Facebook Marketplace. The Barbie mansion.
Mhm.
I'm just not doing it. I don't care. I'm not spending hundreds of dollars to give a material thing that they're going to forget about in a couple of days. So it's kind of like set your boundaries there too. I'm not going broke over Christmas. I'm just not. I'm going to give them an experience. I'm going to give them something they'll remember forever. And the rest of it is all shit that they need anyway.
Right. And that's kind of what we're doing as well. And like when you think about people during the holidays saying no to their food or saying no to going out and hanging out with them or an event or whatever, it's not rejecting the person. It's really
Hmm.
just being aligned with what you need to do and balance. And maybe you'll go to some of those functions, but you don't have to go to all of them. You don't have to go and make Aunt Sally feel good because you ate her whatever. It's kind of
Hmm.
like you're going to spend time with Aunt Sally, and if that's not understood, then that's, like I said earlier, an Aunt Sally problem. Um, but there are some things that you can do when it comes to food to like navigate that a little bit. And for me, I always will be like, okay, what are the things that I can't just have all the time, right? I'm not a big fan of turkey. I'm a sides girl. I like all the
Same,
sides, right?
same,
So
yeah.
it's kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna have a sides, but I'm not gonna go back for seconds, right? I'm gonna have a bite of each thing, and then I'm gonna allow myself to just be okay with that. I don't
Hmm.
have to feel stuffed. I don't have to unbutton my pants. I don't have to be in a food coma at the end of the day. Like, I want to be able, after my dinner, to go for a walk with my
Yeah,
family and that be a tradition, right?
right.
And so that's kind of what I would do if I were going to a function or going to something. So planning it before I get there, like, okay, I know this is going to be there. And this is kind of my portion that I'm going to be, like an intentional indulgence, right?
Right. And also don't like scratch the itch. Like if you really like, I think it was Justy, didn't you make when we did Thanksgiving in North Carolina, at the in the mountains and you made like that cornbread dressing,
Cornbread
I think it
dressing,
was.
it's my
Yeah.
favorite.
Like if that's your thing, like
Uh-huh.
don't try to make like a low carb version of the cornbread
Just,
dressing.
yeah.
Make the fucking
Yep.
cornbread dressing. Make the recipe that you make. Have the couple of bites at it that you would normally have, but sometimes like during the holidays too, you have to scratch that itch.
Mhm.
You can't get by with saying like, oh, I have this low calorie, low this, low that version of something. Make the traditional way. Just
Uh-huh.
don't overindulge on it. Everything is
Mhm.
okay in the right amount, in the right quantity. Like you don't
And
have
it's
to
like
overdo it.
allowing yourself to indulge without spiraling. Like,
Hmm.
you don't have to spiral out of control for
Go
the
back
rest
for
of the
four
year.
plates of it, right?
Right. You don't, yeah, like I said, you don't have to be in a food coma because of it. And then for me, it's also like keeping my non negotiables really basic. Like through this time, I'm doing really good this year, though. I mean, I
Mm,
really am. Last year, I struggled because I couldn't go to the gym because I just had my surgery. But
right.
this year, I've been going to the gym. I've been hitting it. I've been, we're going to get into our goals later, but I've lost like 8 pounds this year in the last 12 months, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I've gained 11 pounds of muscle. And to me,
Hmm.
that's my goal, right? But making sure that your non-negotiables are super basic. Like maybe you're not going to hit the gym 5 days a week at this time of year, but can you do three? Can you get your water intake? Can you make sure you're hitting your protein goals? And just
Just so
very,
you
very
don't lose
basic.
routine. Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't want to
very,
lose the
very
routine
basic.
completely. Yeah.
Maybe you're not going to the gym and like killing it and building muscle and taking all these classes, but are you walking? There's things that you can do to continue to stay on a good path without like completely derailing yourself.
Right. Yeah. Yep, I agree. So, I mean, I think we covered pretty much anything that we wanted to talk about. And listen, this is like we've been doing this shit for years that we've been trying to figure this out and just like and I'm not going to say that I haven't, especially because for me, and Justy knows me and my cookies. Number one, cookies are my weakness. But I
Yes.
also love to make them. I love making them. That is kind of the tradition thing that I love to do. And we had Laura Grabo on before, and we
Hmm.
talked, remember we talked about the cookie thing, and it's like it's okay. Like you set boundaries around that. Set boundaries around like one of the traditions I love is centered around food, and that is baking cookies and maybe trying a new recipe each year, baking them with Chelsea. I've been doing it with her since she was like two.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, she would like pour the flour and it goes everywhere. So we've been doing it together for so long that I don't want to break that tradition and I enjoy that tradition, but I struggled with the push pull of like, okay, but I'll eat all of the cookies. But it's like, you know
Uh,
what? I just have to find my level of comfort where I can have the cookies in the house and not feel like I have to have them all. Like I could
right.
allow myself a cookie a day. I could allow myself two cookies a day. It's
Uh-huh.
whatever I decide on and sticking to the decision that I've made
Right.
that is set. That's my boundary. So you just
And
have to figure out what boundary to set for yourself.
keeping your promise to yourself. I've talked about this like my whole weight loss journey. It's like I keep a promise to myself, what I'm eating today, what I'm doing physical activity today, and the boundaries that I have around life and relationships, financial boundaries, that sort of thing. So it's keep, maybe your promise is different this time of year, right? But you got to start with a promise or a goal or a plan so that you can say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna make these cookies and I'm going to enjoy these cookies. I'm gonna have two or three a day, and that is it. And then
Hmm.
tomorrow I can have two or three more, and they're gonna actually last a lot longer. And I'm gonna enjoy more days of these cookies than and then feeling like shit. And you know, for me in my past, my people pleasing, it cost me a lot more um, than it was worth, right? So the people that I was pleasing, I don't think any of them are in my life currently, right?
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, they're just not. And so,
Hmm.
but, and I've learned to please in other ways. Like, in my mind, I wanted to buy my son, my grandson, this expensive gift or whatever, but he's 6 and he doesn't care. He wants a
Right.
cake. He wants a cake for Christmas and a fuzzy blanket. And so it's like,
Right.
why am I trying to be extra to, whatever? So I caught myself. I had to check it. Was it check it, change it?
Catch it, check it, change it.
There we go. I had to catch it, check it, change it. And so it's really, really something you have to just go into it being aware. And if you're aware, you can make changes. You're not going to be perfect. You're
Right.
going to probably go home and think about the bullshit that Uncle Bill said, right? You're probably going to have a stressful time. You're probably going to eat a few more cookies this season than you
Hmm.
do when it's not the holiday season. But again, all of that's okay within reason.
Right. You have to protect your peace. You have to know like
Mhm.
where like the boundaries is probably the step one to all of this is
Yep.
knowing what you're willing to accept and what you're not. And that goes with people and it goes with food. So it's like if you know like in tradition, like I have the cookie tradition, maybe in tradition you like to make pies, or maybe you're a sides person like Justy, then just set your boundary around that. Like
Mhm.
she said, I'm gonna put X amount on my plate and I'm gonna sit with it and I'm not gonna go back for seconds. Or maybe you eat early enough in the day where you have it as lunch and then hey, guess what? It's
Dinner.
dinner too. So you can
Yep.
have it twice, but set your boundary and stick to it because as Justy has said it a million times over, you will feel so much better about yourself for honoring the promise to yourself than you will for giving into somebody else's bullshit.
Right. And your piece isn't worth somebody else's nasty jello marshmallow pudding, right?
Right?
Like my
Yeah.
piece is much more important than that. And
Yeah, for sure.
my pride of sticking to my goals and all of that. I'm a very like proud person. I celebrate things. Like this morning, I didn't want to go to the gym, but I did. And when I was done doing those stupid Bulgarian split squats that I hate, I was like, yeah, I did it. Like, I didn't want to do those. I didn't want to go because I didn't want to do those. So I did them first. I got them all the way and I was done. And it's just continuing, even though I've been on this weight loss journey for years now, I continued to find pride in the little things that I'm still doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
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 So
Got to
anyway.
find what works for you. But hopefully, in all of that, you're able to take something away from it and figure out what your boundaries are, figure out who
Mhm.
those people, and if you need to avoid people
Yeah.
altogether, avoid them altogether. You don't have to go to that gathering. You don't have to do anything. Listen, go camping, okay? There's,
Right.
well, we saw a deer. The ranger came by and told us there was a 150-pound bear about point 0.4 up the trail. We were like 150 pounds, like that's smaller than me. We got
Like
this.
I
We had
could
bear
take
spray.
it.
Yeah. So we were actually he's like, you might, just so you know, you might get a visitor tonight because we had a really nice ranger that passed through a couple times while we were setting up. But he told us about this. We were kind of excited to see the bear, but we never did see it. But like, you know what? That bear's not pushing pie on me. So I'm going where my piece is protected.
Right.
And
Right.
while it's not traditional and people probably look at me kind of strangely, oh well,
Right.
look as
Like,
strangely as you want to. I'm doing what makes me feel good.
and that comes with being, I think that comes with our age too. Like as we
Yeah.
get older, we
A whole
just
lot of
get
buckets.
less fucks. And the same thing with me. I stopped. I told Steph a few months ago, like I'm not dating for the rest of the year. It's not serving my purpose in life. I mean, it's just not. I just can't do it. And so I just had to cut that out of my life. And I'm very happy that I did it. We'll revisit it again next year. It's just not serving.
Or not.
It's not right. It's not bringing anything good into my life.
Right.
And so I'm just not going to put any energy into it. And
Right.
yeah, and so just releasing that pressure, it's kind of like, oh, I feel so much better. I don't have to worry about that aspect of my life. Same thing with like events. If you don't want to go to the company party, like you're not going to get fired because you
Wash your hair
go.
that day. Right. Who
Right,
cares?
right. Like you're not gonna get fired because you didn't go. And yeah, so just really protecting your peace and making sure that you just remember like it's your life and your journey is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because your journey being and it some people might sound selfish, but you taking care of you allows you to take care of other people because you're showing up the best you are. I didn't
Right.
show up this happy, energetic, fun, optimistic person all the time. I mean, I always had an element of that, but I had when I was younger, I had a lot of anger, I had a lot of frustration, I had a lot of nights crying to myself. I had a lot of that because I wasn't taking care of myself. Now that I do, I don't have any of that shit. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyways, happy holidays. Hope you all
Yes.
are able
Yeah.
to stick to your non people pleasing and identifying when you're going down that road and stopping
Set
it.
your boundaries. Yeah,
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. And
for
what's
sure.
next?
Next is we're going to talk about kind of goals wrap
Yep.
up. We're going to do it a
Yep.
little differently this year because it gets a little boring with the way that we traditionally did it. So we're going to talk about it a little bit differently to kind of close out 2025 and set up 2026.
Yes. Yay. Awesome. Well, hope you guys
All
have a
right.
great day.
Yeah. Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Bye.